For some reason, I feel like when you're an entrepreneur, life is either incredibly busy or super slow. Like, there never seems to be an in-between. Lately, life has been incredibly busy, and I feel like I haven't had time to even think about vlogging, which makes me so sad because vlogging is actually probably one of my favorite things. But sometimes you gotta prioritize, and unfortunately, vlogging took the backseat for a bit. However, I am excited to get back into it, and I have so many things I want to share with you, so thank you so much for being patient with me through it all. I promise we have so much fun content coming. I can't even remember the last time I properly vlogged, but there's been so much going on. I launched some new pieces on my website, redid the imagery for some older pieces. I went to Portland for a sustainable fabric trade show, which was really, really cool. We've just had so many things going on, but I just haven't had the time to like sit and vlog, I guess. I have a website order to make, and then I'm also gonna make myself an outfit because if you didn't know, the Cowboy Carter tour starts here in LA and it started last night. My friends and I, just for funsies, we're looking at ticket prices because sometimes with concerts you can get tickets for really cheap, like the week of, the day before, the day of, you know. So we're always scouring just in case, and we were checking, there were still so many tickets at a very reasonable price. I think we got our tickets for like $70 to go see Beyonce. Crazy. So all that being said is that we're going on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday, and of course I want to make my outfit for it, so that is also part of what we will be sewing this week. I have ideas for what I want to make, but we'll get to that once we get to the studio. Okay, I got dressed in the hopes that it will make me feel more productive because I've just been a ball of stress over the past few weeks, especially the last couple of days. I just feel so overwhelmed with absolutely everything that's going on. So anyway, today we have an order for the Satie dress in a mini and in this beautiful like deeper red fabric. This is one of the pieces that I kind of relaunched, I guess, on my website. I've had the Satie dress on my website for a while. I can't remember if I launched it maybe a year or two ago, but I just had the maxi version and I never did proper like e-commerce photos with it. I just feel like I launched some pieces when I was still doing Era Store custom orders, but I didn't really do like a proper launch. I feel like I never really talked about them too much. And so in the last couple of months, I'm like, you know what? I need to like redo my imagery. I want to make sure that like people know that these things are for sale because I just feel like I hadn't really pushed to that. And so anyway, I also made a mini version of the Satie dress because originally I just had the maxi, and I have it so that you can basically get it in any color because I can just go out and find the fabric basically in any color. And this particular customer wanted it in red. She like sent me the specific like Pantone color that she wanted, and I found one that matched it as closely as possible. And so we're gonna make that today. I am also working on actually making this a pattern for you to be able to buy and make yourself. I filmed the tutorial for it. I just need to actually finish up the pattern itself and like obviously get it all edited, but that is coming. In other news, I did make this same mini Satie dress in a butter yellow, this color. And you guys know, if you watch the vlogs, that I'm a very big fan of Alicia Marie. You can probably usually see her videos playing in the background or one of her podcasts playing in the background. Like, I've watched her since I was probably in middle school, and she's one of the few influencers that I genuinely follow because I'm not huge on following a lot of influencers. I feel like I follow a lot of like OG YouTubers that are influencers still, but I don't tend to follow like newer influencers, I guess. But she's one that I've watched forever, and she got her colors done in Korea like last year, and she's been obsessed with like butter yellow as one of her colors. And in a lot of her vlogs she'll just talk about like, you know, got another shirt in like butter yellow. Like, she just is always talking about it. And so I made this dress and I was like, this would be such a cute dress on her. Like, I just feel like it's very much her style as well. And I don't know why I've never thought to do this, but I made a TikTok and I was like, why don't I just like literally make a TikTok for her to see and be like, hey girl, I'd love to make you a dress. Tag her, because obviously I have a big enough following on TikTok to obviously get people to like also tag her with me. Which, speaking of, I need to film this, so give me 2 seconds. And so I posted that TikTok and she saw it actually really quickly. She saw it before it even had like 10,000 views. Like, she saw it very, very quick. She liked, she commented, she reposted, she followed me and DM'd me. And hopefully she'll be wearing NTA soon and potentially have a little collab. She also like commented like, oh my god, wait, would you teach me how to sew? Because obviously one of my pinned videos on my TikTok is my general like learn how to sew video, and she's been wanting to learn how to sew this year. So anyway, it just is like kind of crazy, and I just forget that I have like free will to just ask influencers to collab with me. Like, I just forget that they're kind of like easily accessible in a way. Like, I could tag whoever, and if enough people tag them, like they'll probably see it, you know, especially on TikTok. So that's been also a fun little update. If you don't follow my personal Instagram page, I've been doing a lot more on there. At the beginning of Vlogmas in December, I decided that I was going to be doing, you know, 12 days of tutorials, and I decided to switch them from my brand account to my personal account, because for a while my brand account was just my general sewing account, and so anything that had to do with sewing I put on there, and anything that was just like my life I put on my personal, right? My issue with that after a while is that I started attracting people that wanted to learn how to sew onto my brand page instead of people who would potentially purchase from me, and so that got a little bit messy, and I felt like I just wasn't hitting the right audiences. So I then decided, you know what, I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to have, you know, anything that's, you know, pieces that I make, things that I'm selling, whatever, will be on my brand account. Like, I want my brand to be able to stand still on its own. Like, theoretically, I could hire a social media manager that would be able to like take over and run my brand account, because it's a brand, right? It doesn't have to do with like me, even though it is like my name and me, but you know what I mean. And then my personal account, I was like, you know what, this will be my, you know, personal, my travel, like my day-to-day life, but also my educational kind of Instagram. So anything that has to do with like teaching and, you know, tutorials and things like that will go there, so that anybody that wants to just like learn from me can go there, and then people who want to buy from me can go to the other one, right? Like separation. And ever since I did that last year, I've actually seen so much growth on my personal page, which has been so nice. So that being said, I had quite a few sponsorships come in for this past month, which has been really, really cool. My favorite has been working with Simplicity Patterns, which is crazy because obviously I make my own patterns, but when I was learning how to sew, I used Simplicity Patterns all the time. Like, they own like McCall's and like all the basic patterns that you would get like at Joann's or whatever growing up, and it was just so cool to work with them. So I did that on my personal page, and it performed really well, which was also just really nice, because usually for things that are sponsored, it just like doesn't tend to perform well. Like anything, like whenever you put that it's a paid sponsorship, like I don't know, it just doesn't tend to perform as well, which is fine. It is what it is, but that one actually did really, really well. So it was really exciting to have that. Also, just like, what a dream partnership. Like, it just makes so much sense. Something that I've used for so long, something that was so like important to my sewing journey. So that was really exciting. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I went to a sustainable fabric trade show, and it was in Portland, and that was just such a cool experience as well. Like, I just feel like I've been getting a lot more opportunities ever since like getting the clarity of what my brand is and what my personal brand is, because I think a lot of my struggles last year was just not knowing how to differentiate either. That's been really exciting, but also just kind of overwhelming, because now I'm trying to figure out how to balance posting on my personal page quite a bit, my brand page, YouTube. I still have 3 extra part-time jobs as well, so like it's just been a lot to manage, which is why I've been a little bit MIA on YouTube. So it just obviously takes the longest amount of time to like edit a YouTube vlog. That's kind of the update of where I've been at. I'm gonna finish cutting this and then we'll get it sewn up. Okay, it's about 10:50 a.m. and we just finished, and this is so cute. This is literally one of my favorite dresses, and I'm so excited to start like properly promoting it. I've just been so out of the loop in actually promoting my products, because I was doing custom for so long, so it was just like, you know, making videos of pieces I was making. But now it's like, okay, backtrack, let's promote what we have. And I'm so excited to be doing that and just like be making all of these in different colors. This is just such a pretty dress. I just am so obsessed with it. I wear my maxi one all the time, which is crazy because I'm not much of a maxi dress person, but for some reason that one just makes me feel so good. And I just feel like this particular neckline is so flattering, and I personally love a bodycon dress. Like, I love anything that snatches me. I feel like, generally speaking, a lot of my designs are very like tight to the body, because I just very much like that. Like, I love showing the curves of a feminine body. So I just like love these type of dresses. It makes me so happy, and I'm so excited to send it out. I made it a little bit longer than the ones that I have, because she is a little bit taller than I am, so I do take custom like lengths as well. It is a mini, but it's not
too mini. I do like to give extra length to these a little bit because I do find that this fabric sometimes does like ride up quite a bit and like probably sits more like this when you're actually wearing it. Like it doesn't sit perfectly like straight down all the time. So I do like to give a little bit of extra so that if it does move up a little bit, it's still at a comfortable height, if that makes sense. So that is that. I'm probably just gonna get this packaged up today and maybe we'll go to the post office to send it out. Like I said, it's almost 11 and you guys know at 11 is when I post for one of my part-time jobs. So I'm gonna do that first and then we'll package this up and then post lunch we can go take it to the post office. And then after that we can get started on my Cowboy Carter outfit, which I'm excited about. I'm gonna be upcycling a pair of jeans for it because obviously I don't want to buy any new fabric and Cowboy Carter is very much Western denim, so I'm excited. It is now noon, so lunchtime. I've been really trying to add new things into my rotation of meals and things, but y'all know that a salmon rice bowl is top of my list. But I have tried to switch it up a bit. So I did make some the other day, so I have leftovers. But as of lately, I've been adding kimchi onto it. I love kimchi. I never think of buying it because I don't know, I just like don't think of it. But I was at Trader Joe's the other day and I was like, you know what? Let me just grab some. I feel like it's just such a good additive to my salmon rice bowl, and it has been a lovely additive. I also made some agua de Jamaica the other day, which is essentially just like hibiscus tea. I put it into this little pitcher, which is my favorite thing ever. It's literally just a pig. So anyway, I'm gonna be drinking some of this. I'm trying to be more hydrated these days, so I feel like this is helpful so that I drink more and get a little bit more hydration than I usually do. So let's assemble. Okay, the only thing missing is that I don't have any avocado, which I'm really sad about because that is my favorite part of this usually, but that's okay. Another thing that I feel like I haven't talked about in a hot minute, probably also just because I haven't vlogged in a hot minute, is that I have one group trip coming up. So I shared this, I think, at the beginning of the year or maybe in December, I don't really remember, but I'm hosting a group trip to Thailand that is open to any of you in November, and this one's gonna be specifically kind of focused around like fashion and sustainability and food and culture, kind of like all my favorite things in one. So I wanted to make a trip that would be like a learning experience for everybody that's there. So we are going to like local artisans and learning from them and doing textile workshops and things like that. But then there's also gonna be like a cooking class and like obviously visiting temples and like doing all the local stuff. But I'm really excited about it. It's in November, like I said. One of my friends already signed up for it, so I'm excited about that. But it literally is open to anybody, any part of the world, any gender as well. It's not particularly a girls trip. I just feel like I have a majority female audience anyway, so I always just say like for the girlies, but it really is for everybody. And yeah, I'll have the details all down below if you want to sign up for it, because it is limited spots. So like I wouldn't wait too long if you've thought about it, just because I don't want you to like miss out potentially. I'll leave the link down below. They have payment plans and all of that, so it's not like you have to pay all up front. But yeah, I'll leave it all down below if you guys want to check it out, because that's something else that I'm really excited about. And I know it feels far away, but also like the fall and winter months come up so quickly, so I just want to put that on your radar. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this. I think we'll head to the post office to drop off the package, and then we'll come back to get started on my little upcycle for the Cowboy Carter tour. These are the jeans I have. They are nice. They're 501s and they do actually fit me as like kind of boyfriend jeans in a way. But given where I got them from, I don't really care to wear them as such. So I am going to cut them up. And to be so fair, the person that gave me these was getting rid of them and said I could either just like wear them or upcycle them or do whatever I wanted with them. So I'm not doing this against anyone's will, just saying. And I've had them in my closet for like a year now, and I haven't worn them as boyfriend jeans, because the only thing is with male jeans, even though they like sit low and they're like, you know, sit nicely, obviously they have extra room at the crotch area, and I just feel like as a woman you like sit down and then it like bulges really weirdly, and I just don't like that. So that's actually the only reason I haven't worn these as is, just because I feel like the fit is a little awkward and weird and I don't feel 100% with it. So I might as well just upcycle it into something I'm actually gonna wear. I'm thinking of making a corset out of it. So I wanna use the Lexi dress pattern top as the base of it, but instead of doing like a lace up back or like a tied up, zippered up back, I think I'm gonna do it in the front. So I think I'm gonna do the sweetheart neckline one, but then like cut a bigger gap in here so that it can be tied up in the front. I think that would look really cool. So I'm gonna just play around with it. We'll see how it goes. This is really gonna be an experiment, but fingers crossed all goes well. In an ideal world, I can somehow salvage the top of this to make it into a mini skirt and then just use the legs for the corset. I'm gonna attempt to map it out and see if that is a possibility. And I think the way I'm gonna go about it is by cutting up the legs first, but I'm gonna try to keep like the crotch part intact. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up the legs so I can at least kind of like see what I'm working with. I don't work with denim too often, or like any thick materials for that matter. I feel like I'm such a like light, airy little fabrics kind of gal. So this will be a fun experiment, and I'm really excited because I have red cowboy boots that I could wear that I think are gonna look so cute with this. And if this doesn't end up giving me enough fabric for a skirt, then I have like a cute black mini skirt I can wear, so I'm not terribly bothered by that. But in an ideal world, it would be a matching set. I'm gonna start just like opening these up a little bit so that I can start placing some of these pieces in here. You know what? I might just outline all of these first so that I can kind of see what I'm working with. So with chalk, I'm just gonna outline these pieces. And that way I can kind of map it out before cutting. Okay, I'm gonna use my electric little cutters. I never get to use these, but denim's like the perfect fabric for it. I have one more little piece to cut out and then we should be good. And I think I'll be able to do a little mini skirt with it, which I'm really excited about. So we're doing good, guys. We are doing good. And we still have pants to work with. I'm gonna start with the corset though. I'm thinking I am gonna need to like interface this and line this because this is like pretty thin denim. It's not super thick or anything. I think it's just vintage and like worn out a bit. So I think we're going to interface it. I am probably just gonna line it with some like light cotton that I have lying around. But we've got our pieces here ready to go. I have it put together. Here's the outer shell and then the lining is also put together. As you can see, I have it so that it opens in the front here. What I'm gonna do for this is attach the boning to the outer shell instead of the lining. So I think I kind of want like the detail of that stitch to show. I use Ridgeline boning, so it basically creates like kind of like a rectangle around the seam, and it usually looks really, really clean. And I just think it'll add like a nice texture to it. So I'm gonna do that so that it feels nice and secure. I think I'm gonna end up doing silver grommets because the jeans obviously have silver like metal buttons and stuff, and I want it to match. I'm also debating whether or not to then add maybe some rhinestone detailing. We'll see. Okay, here's where we're at so far. I am obsessed. It's looking so good. I just placed some grommets just like with pins so I could kind of visualize it, because I wasn't sure if I wanted these big ones or smaller ones, but I actually do think the big ones are gonna look better. So I've kind of spaced them out where I want them to be. I'm gonna like properly like mark this before I take it off, but I like where that's going. I'm hoping that I can somehow manage to lace it with this silver chain that I have. I used this and these grommets for my sister-in-law's Era's outfit that I made her. She had like the tiniest bit of just like chain and grommets like up in the chest area that tied up, and it looked really cute. And I had bought 2 like chain things for it just in case, but I ended up having extra. It is kind of short, but maybe I'll be able to like do it all the way to like half of the top, or I don't know. I just want to play with it, add the chain somehow. I think it'll look cool, but I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see up close, but obviously all of the boning lines are on the outside, but they're really subtle, so you can't see them too much unless you're up close, but it's just a nice little added detail. I think it looks so clean. Okay, this is what it looks like with the grommets in. I did try to put the chain on it, but the chain only reached to these. It doesn't reach to the very top one. So I might try to see if I can just get another chain or see if I have anything that I can use. That's basically done. So now we can move on to our little skirt. What I'm gonna start with is undoing the crotch seam down here so that I can just like make this into a proper skirt moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna seam rip basically the crotch seam, and then you'll see how I flatten this out. Okay, so basically you take apart the crotch seam and you have to flatten it out so that you don't have a weird like bulge. So it looks something like this. So what I'm gonna do is sew this down like this over top, just like a top stitch. The back doesn't have as much of a curve as the front does, but it has the tiniest bit, so I'm gonna also just top stitch that. And then I'm gonna try it on to see where I actually want to cut it. And then maybe I'll have to redo the waist a bit. I can't remember how baggy these were waist-wise. I don't want to be terribly baggy, but I do want it to be low-waisted, so we'll just try it on and see. Okay, I just got that sewn on there. As you can see, I'm gonna just literally put these on and see what the vibe is. I know I should probably like try all of this on without actual like clothes under, but I just cannot be bothered to change right now. This actually fits pretty well, like low-waisted. This would be, it's like the tiniest bit big. Like it would be nice to have it the tiniest bit taken in, but I could also just like wear a belt or something. Let me put you down a little bit. Basically, I'm gonna cut off all these like excess bits. Like this will be cut for sure. This will be cut. Well, whatever. This feels like a really long length to me. So I'm gonna fold it the tiniest bit up. And I think I'm just gonna leave it like a raw hem. Like I think I'm gonna do like a stitch all the way around like ½ an inch up from it so it doesn't get too raw. I think I'm gonna do that much for now and then even it out all the way around and see what that looks like. I think it looks so good. TBD if I add more to the skirt. I'm indecisive of if I want to add more to it or not. Like it could be cool to add grommets to this as well, even if it's just like at the hem or something, just for like decorative purposes. I'm gonna try it on later tonight after I like shower, because I don't feel like taking off my clothes right now because I am gonna go work out with Leah in a little bit. So I'm just gonna wait till later till I'm fresh and clean. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've mentioned this, but I'm running a half marathon in a couple of weeks in Brooklyn in New York, so I'm really excited about that. That is why I am gonna go work out, train with Leah. Originally at the beginning of the year, I had said that I wanted to do a half marathon at some point. Like I just put it on my vision board because I started running last year. It would be nice to just like check it off the bucket list. And then I was presented with the opportunity to do the Brooklyn one with road runners. I'll talk more about it in a later vlog probably, but all that to say is that originally when I had said it, me and Leah were gonna like train together to do it together and like sign up for one of the LA ones, but low-key it's expensive to do like a marathon or a half marathon. Like races like are expensive, and so we realized that, and then we're like, damn, like never mind, I'm not gonna spend hundreds of dollars to do a race. So anyway, I got presented with the opportunity to do the New York one through Roadrunners, so I didn't have to like qualify or like, you know, go through the normal process, but Leah still wanted to like train with me, so we've been training together, which has been nice to just have like an accountability partner. So I'm gonna chill for a bit before we go work out, and then yeah, I'm excited to try this on later tonight and see what it looks like. I just got home, showered, and I'm gonna try on the set. I still don't really know what I'm gonna do for tying this up, but for now I'm gonna try it with the chain. I managed to get the chain all the way to this second to last one, and I don't mind it not being all the way up to the top, but I'm still gonna play around with different ideas. The skirt is good, but I do think I want to take it in the tiniest bit, even if it's just with like a belt or something that kind of like cinches it a little bit, because I do feel like it's like the tiniest bit too low and like too loose. I feel like the corset looks so good. If I had the top one properly like put together, I feel like I'd be more kind of like in, but overall I like the look of it. I think it just needs to be like taken in the tiniest bit like that maybe. I'll obviously have my like cowboy hat on, my hair down, and my red cowgirl boots. These, I think this really completes the look. So then part of me like questioned like if I should add red accents to this set so that it would match the boots, but I don't know. We just need to accessorize it and maybe potentially make the skirt the tiniest bit shorter. Like you guys know I love a mini. Like maybe like that would look a little bit better. For dinner, I think we're gonna make my second latest hyperfixation meal, which is eggs, cottage cheese, and chili oil. And then I dip tortillas into it because I don't have bread, so tortillas works for me. It's so good, and I know cottage cheese has a good amount of protein, and I feel like because I've been working out a little bit more, I'm trying to be mindful of like getting enough protein. It's also just a really quick little recipe. I saw it on TikTok, as I do most things. For this, I would usually do 3 eggs, but I did have one of these protein bars before we worked out, and I usually hate protein bars, but this one's actually really good. It's the Go Macro bar. Coconut, almond butter, and chocolate chip flavor. It's organic, vegan, and gluten-free, and it has 11 grams of protein. So this is what I had right before my workout, so I'm not like super hungry, but obviously I need to eat because I know I'll be hungry in like an hour if I don't. So anyway, I'm gonna heat up 2 tortillas. I feel like this would be really great with bread, but I am a gluten intolerant gal, so tortillas are like just the right amount of gluten that doesn't hurt me too much, but if I have like full-on bread, it's like a bit much. And gluten-free bread just doesn't do it for me because it's just not great. I'm gonna heat up my pan, throw some oil on there. Then what I'm gonna do is crack my 2 eggs in there. Ooh. And then I'm gonna take some cottage cheese and just like throw some on there. I kind of just like, I don't know, eyeball it. I'm not a recipe follower. I just literally vibe, which I feel like you guys know at this point. And then chili oil for a little bit extra something, you know. This is really just like preference at this point of how much you like. And of course, salt and pepper. And then you cover it and I just let it cook. It doesn't take very long, but essentially you just want to make sure the yolks are still a little bit runny. I don't have it perfected yet. I don't know how much time it's in there, but we just eyeball it, you know? And now the fun part is just cracking the yolk and mushing it all up so that I can just dip my tortilla bits into it. This has been a hyperfixation as of late, which has been fun because I feel like eggs are always like a staple for me. I feel like I don't tend to vary how I eat them, so it's nice to vary it for once. I'm trying to add more recipes into my rotation. I'm gonna eat this and then wind down for the night, so I will probably catch you guys in the morning. skirt. I just cut it down about like an inch so that it's the perfect length now. And I marked out where I want all these grommets to go. I think I'm literally just gonna like line the hem with grommets, like just to add a little detailing. I think it'll be fun and it'll tie into the bodice a little bit more. So I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna go through my trims and see what I can find in terms of like lacing it up and maybe adding that to also the skirt. So I did finish adding all of the grommets onto the skirt, and I think it looks a lot more like a set now, which I really love, but it's still just like, you know, nothing too crazy. And I was looking through my stash of trims and all the things, and I could not find the cording that like in my head I've bought at some point. And I don't know if maybe I like used it literally like 10 years ago and I still think I have it when I definitely don't. But what I did find is all of these stars from doing a bunch of Eras Tour outfits and like Midnights-esque type things. And I'm like, should I add these at least? Like, I don't think I want to cover it in it because again, I want this to be wearable outside of the concert and I don't want it to look too costumey. But I do think if I even add a few just to like the back pockets, like I think that could be really cute. So I'm playing with that idea. I thought about maybe doing two literally like where the nipples would be because I just think that's like silly, goofy fun. But I think I might wait on that until I lace it up and then see what it looks like laced up and then like see what it looks like on. But I do think I'm gonna add the big ones onto the pockets. I think I like the way that looks. Like I think that's just a fun, cheeky little something. I just made a little ribbon out of the denim that was left over. I don't know if I'm gonna use that tomorrow or not. I might still figure that out, but this is what it's looking like. I love it. I think this is so cute. I love the skirt. I added a little star in this little pocket too that kind of peeps out, which I think is fun. I need to figure out this like lace up situation. I don't love that, but that's a later problem. I'm debating whether or not to add stars here too. Like I think it'd make it a little bit less wearable out and about in my day-to-day life, but also like I probably would still wear that out and about in my day-to-day life. So like I don't think it's too extreme if I just have two stars. Like it's not like I'm gonna cover the whole thing, but I'm gonna ask some friends for opinions and we'll see. So I'm not gonna add them yet, but I love the way it's looking so far, so feeling really good about it. I'm gonna leave you here for tonight. I'm probably not gonna vlog all day tomorrow, but I will show you me getting ready so you can see the full outfit in its full glory, but I will see you guys tomorrow.
The next day I played around so much with what I was gonna lace this up with, and I honestly just decided that it had to be the chain because it looked so cute. So I ended up adding hook and eyes to the corset so that it would close shut with that, and then the chain could just be decorative. I'm really glad I went with this because I think it was the perfect solution to keep it really clean and be able to use the chain. I ended up not even wearing my cowboy hat because I ended up doing a fun little makeup look and my hair with silver stars. So everything kind of changed last minute, but I love the way it all came together. I think all the little accents of silver everywhere were perfect and the concert was absolutely incredible. I'm so glad we got these last minute tickets and I'm so glad I got to make my outfit for it. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along. I'm so excited to get back into YouTube and vlogging and sharing all the fun stuff that's coming. You're definitely gonna want to subscribe if you haven't already because I do have some fun things coming. That being said, that is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!